Do you feel exhausted sometimes as a business owner? It's true. There is so much to think about. There is so many different things that need to be on your radar as a business owner that it can be really tricky to know what to work on next to make an improvement to your business that will last for the long term. Now, I've created a little spreadsheet, brain dump of all of the things that I know I need to be in control of as a business owner. And today's recording is sharing this and running through just how much is involved in running a business. So I'm going to share my screen and bear with me. Here we go. Jump straight to my Excel spreadsheet. So you will see here that I've just hidden all of the words because I wanted to start first with what are those key topics or headings that we actually work on. So as we think about all the different hats that we wear as a business owner, we've got marketing, we've got finances, we've got to work on myself, we've got sales to think about, how to retain clients, what are we doing about HR and the team, whether that's an internal team or an external contracting or contractor team, goals of the business, what the actual core business, so actually doing the work that brings in the money, and then thinking about risk management. So already there's a bucket load of information here that you go, oh, all of those things I have to think about. So I just wanted to touch on each one, and I've hidden them all, so I'm just going to unhide them now. I counted them before I shared my screen. There's 95 different things here. And this was just my straight brain dump of these are all the things that as a business owner we need to think about. 95 just straight out of my brain. There's probably more that I've missed. So when we look at it, we've got marketing as the first column. And now this isn't necessarily the first thing or the most important thing you need to work on, but it is one of those things you need to work on. So the marketing is attracting clients, attracting potential clients. So we need to think about what social media platforms are we using? What content do we want to put out? Do we want to pay for advertising? Do we send newsletters? And if yes, how frequently? And what do our customers want to know? What do we publish blogs and what's in them? What do our graphics look like and our branding? Who are our ideal clients? So who do we want to sell to? And then how are we tracking that our marketing is actually working? So, that's a lot already just under the marketing heading. Then we've got financing. So finances, actually having money in the bank, transferring money so that you know what that money is actually for. How do you increase your sales without burning yourself out? How do you reduce your expenses so that you can make a profit? What is your profitability? What reports do you need to run? How can you actually show that you are making a profit in your business? And it's not just profit on your profit and loss statement, but it's cash in your bank as well. How often are you doing invoicing and collecting your money in? If you've got debts in your business, how are you paying them down? Who do you need to talk to help with your finances? All of those sorts of things. Then we've got yourself. As a business owner, the business doesn't function very well without you looking after yourself. So what is the best use of your time? How do you make the best amount of money for the business, for yourself? What sort of things do you have to do in your business versus what are those things that you can hand off to other people where they can do it better? They can do it better than you. You don't have to do everything. What can other people do better than you? What do you love to do? What do you not love to do, so that you can delegate it to someone else? Where do you spend your downtime and refresh your brain so that you can show up for your business and show up for your team and show up for your clients in the best way that you can? What sort of personal goals do you have? What do you want to accomplish in life? Inside the business? What do you want to accomplish in your life outside of the business? How can the business help you achieve your personal goals? What sort of tracking do you need to do? Do you feel organized? Do you have peace of mind? Do you understand your purpose? And are you looking after your health? Are you looking after your mental and your physical and your energetic health, so that you can be the best version of you every day when you show up? Then we've got your sales. So marketing leads to sales. Sales leads to client retention. And in all of this, we then look at the core business as well. So sales. So this is the act of taking a potential customer and bringing them on board. So looking at pricing, looking at quoting, looking at what sort of things can you package together to sell. What does your business look like from the outside? So I've got shopfront visibility there. What does your business look like from the outside looking in? So if somebody is if you have a brick and mortar business and you've got an office for people to walk into, what does that look like? Is it welcoming for the customers, or is it got barricades on the door and really hard to find and really hard to access? If you don't have a bricks and mortar business and you don't have a shop front, so to speak, your shop front is your online presence. So it'll be what people see on social media, what they see on your website, how you show up in your Etsy or Shopify store. What sort of things are people seeing from you, and how are they seeing you? Then we're talking about leads and looking after your leads, tracking your sales, so of your marketing efforts, who's coming in as a lead from those leads, how much is being tracked through to sales, where are you planning to grow, are you planning to niche, whether that's one particular industry or one particular type of client, how can you be really specific so that you can replicate your work over and over without learning something new every time and get those economies of scale. And then what do your potential customers think about you? And then what sort of offers are you putting out into the world via your shop front that people can then tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I want to buy from you, so that you can go through all of that process. Along with marketing and sales and finances is also that systems. So systems is over there in core business, and that's the how we do things around here. And if you can set up systems and have that flow documented, then it makes it really easy for you to bring a team member on board and say, hey, can you do this portion or this part of this process? And so I can do the rest. Or can you do X, Y, and Z, and I'll do A, B, and C. So it makes it really easy. Then we've got your client retention. So looking after your clients, making sure they feel loved. And I've clicked on my recording screen and not on my actual screen. Good work, me. How are you looking after them? Are you making them feel loved? Are you doing everything that you've promised? Are you collecting testimonials? Do you ask for referrals? How are you listening to what your clients are asking for, so that you can continually innovate and provide exactly what your clients or your customers want to buy? And of course, how are you tracking that? Then we've got your HR team, and I'm not sure if there's more. Yes, there's always more. So how do you bring new team members on? How do you performance review them? Make sure that you've got all the paperwork in place. How do you manage pay increases and how much you're actually paying them? How do you manage the leave? How do you manage their performance? So there's a lot of hours and structure that goes into running a team. The hiring and firing component, what sort of characteristics do you need as an emotional type of person versus what tasks do they need to do. We've realized in the last few years that we're actually hiring a person, and any person can be taught how to do most tasks. It's really the person to fit into the team first, and then can you do the tasks, and are you willing to do to learn tasks that you don't know necessarily how to do. Then we've got rewards and incentives, and that looks different for every single person, supporting them to be the best person, best version of themselves, and then feedback. So how do you want to receive feedback? How can you give feedback that is good for both you and the team member as well? Then we've got goals. So setting goals, tracking goals, what are those longer term 5-year, 10-year retirement goals that you want to think about? And then what are those sales goals? So there's sales goals of how much money do you need to bring in, how many clients do you need to bring that money in, at what price. Then all of those sales goals then flow through to the business goals. They flow through to your personal goals, because you're then creating profit from your business that then can help you achieve your personal goals. So then we look at the different structure, and do you do an annual goal setting session or an annual planning session? Do you do quarterly planning and review where you were and where you're going? Just so you know, here in Elevation Training, we do a quarterly planning session every single quarter, and it's called the Passport to Success. So when you see that one come up in the calendar, please come along. It's a lot of fun. Then we've got core business. So we've looked at all of the bits and pieces about marketing and financing and yourself, and now we're looking at how you actually run your business. So what systems and procedures do you put in place so that everybody does consistent work, so that we're not reinventing the wheel over and over and over again, so that when somebody leaves the business, they're not taking all that corporate knowledge with them. It stays with the business. It makes onboarding those new team members nice and easy because they've got a structure to follow. Do you look at productivity for your staff and how they're performing? And is their performance expected? Is it in line with what you thought they would? Is it above? Is it below? And what can you do to get it above, hopefully? Do you have KPIs in place? So that's just a fancy acronym for, do they have specific goals to meet for their role as a person in your business? Then for your core business, what are you actually known for? So what, if you were sitting around a coffee table having a cuppa with somebody and they said, oh, I need to find somebody who does this, would your business come up if that's what somebody was looking for? Hey, go see Jodi at Northwest Accountancy, because she is very passionate about teaching you what you need to know about running your business. If that comes out of your mouth, then that's what I want you to know. What are you known for? What do you want to be known for? Are you known for that? And how does it flow through your finances? How does it flow through your marketing? How does it flow through your sales and your core business? Then we think about all the day-to-day management, stock management, job management, making sure that everything's done. We deliver on our promise to our customers. We've got our customer journey and workflows, automations and AI. We need to think about our opening hours and when we're available to customers, how we are available to customers. Do we want them to phone us? Do we want them to email? Do they want to book online? Are we hands-on or hands-off? Is it just purely you click the button, I'll send you the thing? Depends on your business. And then what sort of equipment and software do you need, and how much will that cost? And that ties back to the finance side of things. So just day to day, there's so much going on, as well as all the other parts. And then the risk management, we think, how are we going to do the best we can do, but not offending anyone? And it's not offending them by calling them names or anything like that, but worst case scenario, not killing somebody, not losing money, not being kicked out of a market, not being bad-mouthed around town. How do you keep up with the legal requirements in your industry? So do you have a certain number of professional development hours that you need to meet and submit every year? What sort of things have you got put in place so that your team are protected from online fraud? What sort of structure do you have set up with your cash flow so that you know you've got money to pay the bills as and when they fall due? Which is a declaration. If you run your business as a company, you've got to declare this every single year that you have the money to pay all of your bills. So do you have that system and structure set up? And I'll give you a hint, that's profit first. And then we've got those strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it sounds bloody blah, but what's your business really good at? What is it not so good at? Where are those opportunities that you can take advantage of, either in your industry, in your town, with your customers, or with a competitor to make them more of a collaborator? And then what are those threats to your industry? What are those threats to your business? Is somebody coming in and setting up a shop like yours right next door with cheaper prices? How are you going to manage that? How are you going to think about all of the what ifs in your business and reduce the risk of them happening? That's risk management. So I've explained quite a lot about this one, but I thought it was really important just to get that feeling of, you know what, as a business owner, sometimes it's okay to be tired. Sometimes it's okay to feel overwhelmed with the amount of decisions that you've actually made, because there is a lot of things you need to think about. And so what I wanted to remind you was, in elevation training, we can help talk about structures for a lot of these things. Not a specialist in HR, but we've got some things that we can help advise you with to build that foundation, and then you can get expert advice on top of that. With your core business, we can help figure out what it is that you want to do with your business and show you some numbers behind what you're actually doing to see if it's working for you or not. With your sales, I'm not a sales specialist, but I've done some sales training, and it's, let's think about what your offers are. Let's think about how you can package them up and create something that people go, oh yes, I'd love to buy that. So there's lots and lots of things that we talk about in elevation training that might be several or some of those things in those lists. And of course, we live in the finances area. So profit first, cash flow, reducing expenses, taxes, forecasting, all of those sorts of things. So that's where I love to sit and love to help. So I'd love to hear if you've got any questions about this, or you've gone, holy crap, I don't want to be a business owner anymore after that. But the important thing is you don't have to work on all of these things all of the time, that you can step in and step out of them as your business needs it. Have a great day, and I'll